Hello and welcome to the Fiscally Challenge Pod, where we explore the psychology of money and how it shapes our lives and financial futures. Today, I'll be speaking with Morgan from Full Circle Finance. He's not only an investment mortgage broker with over 12 years of experience, but he's also a property investor who owned 5 properties by the age of 28. Morgan is here to share why developing a strong financial mindset is more powerful than a big paycheck. And we also talk about his own journey, how he got to where he is today, the personal sacrifices that he's had to make, and why he is so passionate about helping others reach their financial goals. Let's crack on.
Like when you make money fun, it's really like kind of a game in a way.
I feel awkward when I have money. I feel like a drug dealer.
I basically kind of believe that it will never be a problem for me. And if I need more of it, all I've got to do is just go get it. Like having a big income helps, but it's being disciplined enough to manage your money that will really set you apart. Yeah, like with my wife, for example, like we have a very positive relationship with money. Like what are we going to do? Like either together as a team or, are we going to maybe divide and conquer with how we build our net worth?
I know you have a client who has 62 investment properties. How? Who is this person?
Ultimately, I chose myself. It was a very difficult decision to make. Like I cried so much.
What's more important, income or mindset? Morgan, it's amazing to have you here today. How many investment properties do you have?
So by the age of 28, I got to 5 investment properties. And yeah, at the moment, I actually have 3. So I've sold 2, but I'm gearing up to buy even more very soon.
By 28, you had 5 investment properties. Now, that's not very typical for people of our age.
No, it's not.
So, like, how? How did you get there?
The short answer is like I had to learn a lot, and to even buy that first one, I had to save a lot of money, learn a lot about money, deal with money. A lot of it has to do with money at the end of the day.
It's not typical for a 28-year-old to have even 1 investment property, let alone 5, and you would have, I'm assuming, had to make quite a few sacrifices at the start of your journey to get here.
Some of the sacrifices I made, which in an interesting way, like I kind of adopted a very like frugal mindset. So I was pretty tight with money.
And how old were you?
As soon as I started to earn money. So like I think my first job was maybe when I was like 15 or 14, and that was just doing like a local paper route. And like kind of, I suppose what helped is, I was really tight with money. So I wouldn't spend it on things that were like lavish, or I wouldn't splurge. But for me, the bigger goal was just to save and build a bigger pile of money. Like I had no goal. Like it was just, I want to save a lot of money and, do as much as I could. And it's kind of exciting too, because at that time, interest rates were much higher. So you could actually earn money on what you'd saved. So for me, that was exciting because it kind of egged me on even more.
Of course. And how was money spoken about in your household?
Yeah. So it was actually spoken about in a very positive way. And it was something that, like our parents instilled in me at a very early age that, like relationship with money is a good thing. And if you save a lot, you can open up, like it opens up doors, you have more options. So for me, it was something that I always wanted to get more of very young. And basically, it was a very positive thing in our household.
And what was your earliest memory of money?
Oh, it's really funny. We actually had a dog, and one of the first encounters that I had was Dad like offered to pay us like 5 cents for every like flea that we'd find on the dog and kill. Like this is like pocket money, beginnings kind of thing.
And how many ticks did you get at any one time?
It wasn't ticks though; it was fleas. That like they're different
fleas.
things, but I really don't remember, but it was quite a few, like maybe like 20 at a time or something like that. So yeah, nothing
So you got a
nothing to brag
whole
about.
so you got a whole dollar, and with that whole dollar, what could you go and do?
Not a lot, to be honest, because even back then it didn't buy much except maybe like two McDonald's like 50-cent cones. But yeah, like I'd accumulated enough over time. Like we lived at the bottom of a hill, and at the top of the hill on the main road where I lived, there was a service station. So my guilty pleasure was to walk up the hill to the service station and buy like some sort of like lollies or ice cream. So that's what I did.
With your very well earned money, and that poor dog.
Yeah.
But that must have been quite unique compared to the friends that you had, right? Everyone's earning, like I remember, I think I earned my first salary was like $4 or $5 an hour. I mean, what was I going to do with that money? You know, so obviously I spent it on silly things that I just wanted. I was very impulsive. I want it. I have the money. I'll buy it. So I have no money from that time
Yeah.
in my life.
Yeah. I mean, along the way, like, I mean, my parents didn't necessarily say, like, you have to spend your money on this, but I just kind of seen things and learnt things along the way. Like, I remember when I went on holidays with a friend, like, I think I saw that, like, his dad put, like, his money into, like, envelopes, and
Yeah.
that's how he managed his money. And I thought, oh man, that's so cool. Like, I'm going to do that. And so it was so like counterintuitive because I get paid by the paper like route company into my bank account.
Yeah.
Then I withdraw the money, put it in envelopes, and then I just realized I'm like, hey, this is not very safe. What if we get robbed? So I just thought, oh well, I by that time I clued onto it. Like I had a very basic computer, so I thought, oh well, I'll just use a spreadsheet to keep on top of like where all my money goes. So yeah, it's um, yeah, it's kind of evolved over time, and how I manage it. But yeah, I guess for me it was just something that maybe was a little bit different to most of my mates. But yeah, I just really liked it. It was a very positive relationship.
That's crazy. Like, I love that you looked at this older gentleman who was putting money into envelopes and you were like, that is the way to live. I mean, for all you know, he could have been doing something a little less savory with that money, but he had it in envelopes, you know? But you're like, yeah, that's the way to live. That's fascinating. And I
Yeah.
love that you mentioned a spreadsheet because at the age of 37, I'm still very afraid of a spreadsheet. And you were well in there as a teenager.
Yep.
And I'm
Yep. Yeah.
guessing you've upgraded that spreadsheet a little bit.
Yeah, it's definitely evolved over time. And yeah, even when like I started to buy properties, like it took another, life of its own. And yeah, like it's funny because like even when I started my own business, like I didn't do a spreadsheet for that for like 3 years. And only just recently
Really?
have I started to do that. And I'm like, man, like why didn't I do this sooner? So um yeah, like having a spreadsheet was like the best thing for me because I could see literally like where all my money was going and how I could stay on top of things and almost like anticipate what I might be spending throughout the year and how I can budget for that. So yeah, it helped.
And how intricate is that spreadsheet, or how was it, and how is it now?
Um, so when I kind of like, I guess, got into the whole using spreadsheet thing, like I went so far down the rabbit hole, like I was pretty anal about it, like right down to like, cents of like how much something costs or whatever. And I'd update it
Yeah.
daily. So I was a little bit too obsessed about it. But basically, yeah, I was like budgeting for things in the year that would either be recurring every month or like a big annual fee or expense. So like here in Australia, like Christmas, you're buying presents for everyone
Yeah.
within the family. So I'm like, I identified that as a big annual expense. So I'm like, okay, rather than like paying for all of this on 1 month, maybe like every month I just put away like, 20 or $30 a month so that I can pay for everyone. And because I'd roughly figured out what I'd spent the year before. And I'm like, okay, like let's just add an extra 10%. And so every paycheck, I just put that away in my little like spreadsheet. And that's just like an example of it. But yeah, like I put in like anything there, like train tickets, yeah, like anything that's an outgoing would go in there pretty much.
Because I think I would have to be kind of anal about it to do it properly, because I can buy things very impulsively, or even like a coffee here. Yeah, as you said, like a train ticket. This all does eat away at your money. If you're not accounting for that money, you're going to have more in your surplus than you think you do.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, definitely.
and are you that anal now?
No.
So what you have in your bank account or on your spreadsheet is not a true indication of what you actually have.
I mean, yeah, like rather than like, getting so particular about each little thing, like I just kind of bulk it into like one particular thing. So it might be like fun money. So for me, like I would put that
Okay.
as like coffees. So I budget the fact that I could go get a coffee every day if I wanted to, but I don't obviously always do that. So, um, or it could be like, I don't know, fun could like fall into lots of other things. So whatever I don't spend for that month, for example, I could either choose to roll it over to the next, or if it gets to a certain amount, I'd be like, hey, like I'm doing pretty well at not spending. Let's chuck some of that into savings.
Okay.
So yeah, it's not like every single thing line by line anymore. It's a little bit more of a bucket system, if anything.
Oh, bucket system. Okay. And what
Yeah.
about your parents? How are they as spenders, savers? What's their approach to money?
Yeah. So they were pretty careful with what they spent money on. Like there was no splurging. We, as like a family, we didn't do really like any sort of extravagant trips like internationally. We did do a lot of trips within Australia, and it probably wasn't until like the end of my high school that we did a few trips as like family, like went to New Zealand, whatever. But like I have very early like childhood memories. Like both my parents worked to like give me and my sister our lifestyle, and like I have the weirdest memories of like us when a video chain called Video Easy was here in Australia. It's like the Australian version of like Blockbuster, and we would like look on the back of like shopping dockets for like coupons. And it's not like we were poor, like we didn't need to use those, but we liked it because it was like, oh, you can buy two and get one free. Like we just loved
Yeah, of
getting a
course.
good deal. So it was little things like that. But yeah, they definitely didn't splurge. They're very careful with their money. My dad in particular, like he had a few like setbacks, which wasn't his fault with like
Yeah.
super, for example, and so he had to kind of really relearn how to do super,
Yeah.
and he just went all in on learning how to do that, and like did very well from it. But yeah, it was through something outside his control. So yeah, it's been like that kind of relationship where it's like, no, if you're really good with money, it will actually pay you back. So yeah.
There's like 2 points there, which I love, which is making it fun for kids. Cause like, the docket thing, as you said, you didn't need to do it, but it's that little thrill you get. I mean, I scour the internet for a deal or a promo code, and it's like a little like high that you get, and if you can instill that in kids from a young age, that's really important. So they understand like, oh, you have more, you can do more with that little bit that you saved. And the second
Yeah.
point I really love is that your dad, kind of fell into some, whatever issue that came up, but he was able to turn it around.
Yeah, definitely. And like, I guess that's like an awesome thing about it. Like when you make money fun, it actually like it's really like kind of a game in a way. So it doesn't have to be hard. And yeah, like that's kind of how I see it in a way, to a degree. Like I actually have a different belief about money, but part of it is like can be like that, and especially for kids, that's a great way of like putting that into them.
So you mentioned that you have a different belief. What is that belief?
I just believe that if I need it, I can just like go get it and it'll be there. So like I basically kind of believe that it will never be a problem for me. And if I need more of it, all I've got to do is just go get it. So that's actually my belief.
And that doesn't hold you back then, because you know that if you need the money, it will somehow appear because you'll work towards it or it will make itself apparent.
Yeah, 100%. Like there's been like I've had some pretty like tight, stressful situations with it, with money in particular, but I always know that like everything's going to be fine in the end because in some shape or form, it will just come to me when I need it. So I've been able to make decisions that maybe not, most people can make when it comes
Yeah.
to investing because I just know the money's going to be there, which is like a bit of a strange thing to hear, but it just happens. Like it's kind of like the law of attraction or whatever it is. It just happens. So yeah.
Because when it's like framing the situation, right? So your framing is that it's okay. Like I'll figure it out. If I get into a tight spot, things will happen. And it is that law of attraction thing. And one of my best friends, her mom has this saying, like, if you fall into an issue because of money, can also get you out of the problem. You just have to believe that that's
Yeah.
true. And don't be afraid to believe that and know that it's going to be okay. So I like that mindset, and I feel like we could all adopt that a little bit better because I think we all work with trepidation. We're all a bit scared that money's not going to come, and I think especially presently, where a tiny bag of groceries will cost you like 100 Australian dollars or euros, pounds, whatever. Your money doesn't stretch anymore, and I think that makes people less likely to jump or to take opportunities. You know,
Yeah, for sure.
as a young kid, how was that like with your friends? You know,
Um, yeah,
being the
I
frugal
mean,
one.
these are people that you and I both know. Yeah,
Yeah.
look, it's no, it's like I was probably a little bit annoying, I would say, in the sense that if you go out with your mates, you go to a bar or something, I'd be the last one to offer to do a round, and
You're
maybe
that guy.
I'm that
Would you
guy. It was
would you accept the
yeah.
round though?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like
Oh, Morgan.
something
See,
I wasn't very proud of, or it's just like something that I wouldn't offer straight away. It was like, oh, okay, we're doing this. Oh, okay, it's my turn. All right, I'll go do it, kind of thing. It was never like, oh yeah, like it's on me. I was never really first to offer. Obviously, that's changed, but yeah, at that time, because I was in that kind of like frugal mindset, it just went like right over my head. I don't really know how my friends perceive me apart from that, but I guess as maybe I got more runs on the board and started to buy property, like maybe people thought differently, perhaps. But
yeah.
yeah, that's at least what I was like, before I kind of accumulated any sort of wealth beyond savings.
And I think when you're doing like very obvious things, like people know that you're investing and money's tight. And I know that with your properties, and we can talk about that more, you do a lot of the renovations yourself, right? So
Yeah,
obviously, if you're trying to do it as, I don't want to say frugally, but you're just trying to do it yourself to save costs. That's what it is, right? People are probably more conscious of that and will be a bit more forgiving. Whereas, like, no one really likes the frugal person in the corner that takes everything but doesn't give back. You said you did give back. You just were reluctant to be the first one to put your hand up.
yeah, that was me.
Okay, so then with
That's
your
yeah.
friends, you can be that person, right? And they'll make a few jokes or accept that that's how you are. But tell me about dating. What was that like?
Yeah, like that was a different kettle of fish. I mean, for me, like, yeah, money and like dating, they kind of, how do I describe it? Like, it's not like as if they butted heads if you were to describe the relationship. Like, for
Yeah.
me, I really wanted to have a successful relationship. And like most of the time, I probably actually got in my own way with finding like a good relationship, but it
Yeah.
wasn't like anything to do with money. Like it was just me being me. But then, yeah, like I never like decided to like cut back because like I just thought I was spending too much money. That was never a thing. Like I was actually probably more generous than anything
Aw.
with like partners. So yeah, the actually it's funny. I was talking to my wife about this today. The only thing that I probably held back a little bit on was actually like wanting to travel. Like I didn't like
Okay.
that because I didn't want to spend the money, and that's
Right.
like all I focused on was just the cost instead of like the experience. Like today, it's obviously very different. I think of travel not just about the money; it's more than that, but For a very long time, I didn't like travel because I didn't want to spend money because, yeah, I just wanted to
Wow.
save and like buy more property. So, yeah.
How do you feel about that now?
Oh, I mean, I can't undo what happened, but at the time, I think if I were to look back on it and say something to my younger self, I'd probably just say, "Oh, just relax." Like, experiences, you can't turn those down. But yeah, like you're always going to make some form of money. It's just, yeah, like don't be so like narrow minded about it. So yeah,
It's funny. I mean, I do think that your priorities change a lot as you're constantly evolving as a person. Even decisions that you made 5 years ago are very different to what you would make now. And especially 10, 15, 20 years ago, you're like a completely different person. I was the
yeah,
complete opposite of you in that regard. So the reason I would say is to travel. And I would work multiple jobs, save every penny I could. I mean, I kind of have like a half glass full, live in the moment kind of mindset, very different. But I'd come back completely destitute, or I find myself in Europe being like, oh, mom and dad, I need a bit of a loan. So that was how I live. Now, that's why I have no cent to my name from, the early days. But again, I think I've probably not, I'm not, because I haven't gone backwards, but I definitely think more about the long term than I ever did before. Like, if people asked what a 5 year plan was, I was like, I don't, I don't know. Maybe the world will implode. So I'm going to live for the moment. I still don't have a 5 year plan, but I could say maybe 3 years. What does your life look like? How do you plan that out? Do you see in the future? Do you do forecasting, as they say?
um, I haven't really done that lately, but it's more kind of been like about 3 years ahead of anything. Like I don't do
Yeah.
a 5 or a 10 year plan. I definitely plan for the next year ahead, and that's
Yeah.
just something like through business I've kind of done. But yeah, like I've definitely got goals, and for me, it's like, okay, what is like the 1, 2, or 1 or 3 year goal? And for me, then I'll go, okay, well, that's the goal. Like, what do I have to do every month to get that goal? And what behaviors do I have to do, every like day or every week to achieve that goal? So,
Yeah.
yeah, look, I definitely have something. It's not completely, unplanned, but then I'm pretty flexible as well. Like, I used to be so staunch about goals. So I've kind of learned to be a little bit more flexible compared to my younger self.
Evolving. And I know that you had a relationship that ended because your goals weren't aligned and your partner at the time
Yeah.
didn't understand why you were so involved with this investing mindset.
Yeah. So, like, this was probably my first, like, serious girlfriend. And, yeah, like, at the time, it probably didn't help that our relationship was a little bit rocky. But
Okay.
um, this would have been probably, I can't remember how old I was, but it was a few years into like professional working career. And so I'd saved up a fair decent amount of money. I probably want to say like around $70,000 to $80,000. And so that like at that
What?
time, yeah, something
Wow.
like that.
That's incredible. Well
Yeah.
done.
Thank you. um, but I think I might have been like 22 or something like that. But we had
Okay.
both been pretty good savers. And so we'd always talked about buying property, but not really like what that meant for each of us. And so
Okay.
I didn't really know what I wanted until like I first started working in corporate, where I kind of discovered property investing. Her goal for us was to buy a property together to live in. And through me like self-educating and reading books, I did not want to do that. Like I wanted
Yeah.
to kind of spread my money and buy like cheaper, smaller properties instead of just putting all my money into like one. So it was a bit difficult, and it wasn't like the only reason we broke up. Like it was already pretty rocky, as I said, but it was a hard decision because I pretty much had to like decide between doing this to kind of make her happy, or really just go after like what I really wanted and believed in. And ultimately I chose myself, but it was a very difficult decision to make. Like I cried so much, but it
Oh,
was something that I think really paid off for me because we definitely weren't meant for each other, like the property stuff aside, but
yeah.
it definitely like taught me a lot about me and what I wanted, but also it set me on the right path that I needed to go on that kind
Yeah.
of took me down that rabbit hole. So yeah, like I
You
don't see
know,
it as a bad thing. Like any
no.
lesson like that, it's as long as you learn from it, then that's a positive thing. So yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And obviously you are married now. So
Yes.
things worked, the fairy tale worked out, you know. How do you and your partner talk about money? And I guess maybe to go back, how open were you about the money conversation in the early stages of dating, or how did that
Yeah,
go?
I mean, like I was pretty open about it. Like I dated people before my wife, and like one friend of mine said to me, "Oh, don't tell them how many properties you have. Like they'll just
Really?
see you as like dollar signs." And I was like, "Well, okay, sure, but like whatever. Like people don't pick someone just for that. But if someone actually
That's not
asks
entirely
me,
true. They definitely do that. But I think that you need to be
yeah,
able to spot that. People definitely.
yeah, like you need to have your radar on. But like, um, but then yeah, like I had dated people who had Googled me and like they'd seen that, oh, like you've done pretty well. So yeah, like I'd be very forthcoming about it. Like I'd never just volunteer that information, be like, hey, I've done this.
It's not your
If someone
opening
asked,
line.
I'd tell them the answer. No, 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 I don't do that. Um, so yeah, but then any question, like I'm very honest. Like if someone asks, I'm going to give them an honest answer.
Yeah,
Um, and then yeah, like with my wife, for example, like we have a very positive relationship with money. Like
that's
well,
great.
we talk about it in the sense of like, okay, like what are we going to do, like either together as a team or are we going to maybe divide and conquer with how
Yeah.
we build our net worth? So that's sort of the relationship we've got.
That's so brilliant. And I do feel like having that open dialogue from very early on in the relationship, like I'm definitely the awkward person when it comes to talking about money in our relationship, but we've been
Okay.
talking about money from very early on. And it has helped that he is very pragmatic and has a much more normal relationship to it. And it's helping me get on that path as well. And that's the whole point of doing this, to try and fix the broken parts of myself that are not helping me go forward. So I think it's really important that people have very honest dialogues from the very beginning, because everyone's different, right? And I think you can be different, but if you're not aligned, that's the problem.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. Like even through work, like I'll give you an example. Like, I can almost see that a couple won't work because like one could be like, hey, I want to do the property investing thing. And someone could be like a carbon copy of my ex girlfriend that just wanted to buy the home or
Yeah.
like had zero interest. And it's like, oh,
Yeah.
like you guys aren't aligned. Like I'd never say anything, obviously, like it's just not my place. But yeah, like it happens. So you've both got to be on the same page and you both have to want the same things, even like almost down to the last detail. Because
Yeah.
once you are, that's when you can just really like unite and just, yeah, build wealth together. So yeah.
Conquer. So, we haven't spoken a lot about what you do, but you're a mortgage broker and you specifically work in the investment space.
Yeah, that's right. Like through my experience as a property investor and also like previous corporate career in banking, those are two like big passions of mine. Like I love talking about property and I love helping people with what I know about lending to help them build more wealth through owning property. So for me, it was something that I wanted to pursue, and I really enjoyed my corporate career. But I kind of got to a point where I just didn't really have a passion for it anymore.
Yeah.
And yeah, I decided to open up my own mortgage broking business to basically help more like minded people. And yeah, that's kind of how everything started. Like, I just told my property investing story and spoke to a number of media outlets or podcasts. And yeah, that kind of is how I started my business. People heard my story and wanted to reach out for help. And yeah, it's been like the most like enjoyable but hard thing to do. More enjoyable, obviously, but yeah, it's what I love doing. So yeah, that's me.
So give me some stats. How long have you been operational? How many clients have you helped? And how many properties have you closed?
Oh, jeez. So I can answer the first one. I've been in business for just over 3 years. How many
Congratulations.
clients have I helped? I I want to guess more than 200.
Okay.
Um, and that's not including couples. So it's probably more. How many properties have I closed? I don't actually know. It's probably not as many, or maybe it is. I couldn't honestly tell you. I'm not sure.
But it's a lot.
Yeah, it'd be a lot because some clients have bought, like, since I've helped them, they've gone from like one to like seven properties, or they've accumulated multiple themselves. So yeah, like it's some of them have
7.
done a lot. Yeah, yeah.
So tell me, like, what's your average client like? Like, are they high income earners, or are they people like what I want to know is it what's more important, income or mindset? Or is it a bit of both?
Ooh, ooh, that's a good one. Um, I'm actually going to say mindset, and so the reason why is I can say that quite confidently is the last job that I had in banking was in like Australia's biggest bank. I worked in their private banking division.
Yeah.
So I looked after a lot of high net worth people, like people worth billions of dollars. But some of these people, even though they had a lot of income, their mindset was so messed up. Like they would
Right.
just spend all their money, or they would gamble it, or they'd spend on drugs or like fine dining. It's just money in, money out. So the
Yeah.
mindset probably wasn't aligned to something bigger than just having a good lifestyle. Yeah, good. But I guess it also comes back to probably what your goal is, or what you really want to strive towards.
Yeah.
But my type of client, it's actually just regular Australians. Like there's nothing special about them. They're just people that want to get ahead, want to build some wealth, have a good retirement, retire early, do it for the kids. It's nothing special about my clients. Like I've got people that drive buses, you know, do like post office stuff. Like they're just
Wow.
regular people. There's nothing special about them. But what is special about them is how they view and think about money and investing. So that's how they're different to everyone else.
See, this is something that I've always thought about. Like some of the people who I know who don't earn a crazy amount of money, they're the people who actually have big savings. They're really smart. You don't, and
Yeah.
you've just echoed exactly what my thought process is. Is like you don't have to earn a lot to get ahead. You just have to know. You have to be smart with your money, and you have to have the mindset that will help you get there.
Yeah, like having a big income helps, but it's being disciplined enough to manage your money that will really set you apart. Um, like whenever I actually present to a client, like I go through the presentation that I'll do with them, whatever their goals are and stuff. But the last slide that I show them is actually the most important slide, which is where I go over like how to improve your mindset. And so I'll recommend like
Wow.
property, money books, as well as mindset books. And honestly, like mindset is the most important thing because if you think about it, like it can apply to anything. It doesn't just have to
Yeah.
be money, property. It can be for business, starting a
Yeah.
podcast, whatever. Like having money and having means is great, but it's what you actually do with it that matters the most.
And you mentioned that there are some books or tips that you give to your potential clients.
I mean, so most people come to me for property stuff, so I'll give them like property books related to the Australian market. Um, Otherwise, yeah, like typical money books like the Rich Dad Poor Dad. Yeah, with like mindset ones, it could be anything from like Never Split the Difference with Chris Voss, or how to win friends and influence people.
Yeah.
Like Who Moved the Cheese, 10x is greater than 2x, 10x from Grant Cardone, all of those kind of books. Um, they're all like self improvement books. So
Yeah.
I guess, yeah, the more you can download someone's information or just read a book and find that one piece of gold, that's what like I actually look for when I read those books. It's just I just want to get like that little piece of info, even if it's the same thing I've heard but from a different angle.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking for. Yeah.
Because it's that nugget and it's the way that it's presented that will stick in your head and will come to you when you're thinking about making an action or a decision about something. Okay, no, that's there. Like one that I still remember from a long time ago is when I read the book by Steve Jobs. It was his memoir, his biography. It was Stay Hungry, Stay Foolish. Retain that childlike enthusiasm and mindset because it's okay. Things don't always have to be super serious. And that's kind of determined the way I live a lot. But what's the feedback from your clients been about those books?
So it's funny because not everyone actually reads those books that I tell them about it.
Of course.
But for some people that do like read that stuff, like some of the reactions have been awesome. Like one of my earlier clients that I showed that to, he like got up during the presentation, stepped away from the laptop, and then he came back with like a whole like stack of books. And he's like, I've read every single one of these and like, here's my collection. And then he kind of like picked up the laptop and then like actually showed me like all of his books with the camera of what he had read. So it was a pretty cool reaction. I was like, wow. So, yeah, like I think a lot of people agree with it, but not everyone's willing to put in the time to read and learn. And like I hate actually reading a book. Like I just listen to Audible or audiobooks because for me, I can do that whilst I'm going for a walk or a run. So I can do two things at once.
Exactly.
Yeah, or if I'm in the car or whatever. So I'm multitasking, but I can still download that info. So yeah, a lot of people appreciate it because I guess it probably shows that I care about them and their education process. And that's what it really comes down to with investing. It's how much you know. So yeah.
You take the like holistic approach basically.
Yeah, I want them to know as much about like lending or property investing as I do, if not maybe more. So I want to kind of like outdo myself, I guess, in that way.
That's really nice.
Yeah.
That's a really nice way to approach it. I know you have a client who has 62 investment properties.
Yep.
How? What? How? Who is this person? What do they, are they it's the bus driver, isn't it? It's the bus driver.
No. So he's one of those rare people where he actually earns a lot of money and he puts it to really good use. And yeah, he's actually like, he helped me a lot on my journey as well.
Yeah.
But, yeah, like I guess he is, someone that kind of embodies like everything that it comes down to with doing well in property. Like he started young. He did it at a time where like at the beginning of his journey, lending was a lot easier than it is today.
Right.
So in other words, banks were more lenient with how they lent money out. Today, it's not as easy, but if you've got a bigger income, which he does now, then they'll still lend you more. He went like all in on one area before it became popular. And then
like a territory,
popular.
like an area of
like
Australia.
A particular area in Australia. And yeah, like he was just obsessed with learning and getting to know the process as best as possible. He built his property team. So before he even bought a property, he interviewed loads of people who can help him do the investing easier. So solicitors, accountants, brokers, whoever, like literally everyone. He spent, I think, 6 months doing that.
Wow.
Just because when I suppose you find a property, you want everything to be smooth and seamless as possible. So that's really it. Like he also is very good with managing money. Like he just has very good beliefs about money too. Like he'll buy a property and he'll say, I don't have the money. I don't know where it's going to come from, but we'll make it happen. So like, and it does happen. Like the money just comes from somewhere. So it could be from me helping him or him doing something else within his portfolio to make it happen. But yeah, that's basically him in a nutshell. Like, I know some of the properties he's bought haven't been the best, they haven't performed as well, but um, his long term goal is just to keep buying property. So, and because he's held property and it's gone up in value, plus he's increased his income, he can take bigger jumps
Wow.
in terms of building wealth as he stays in the game longer. Like, he went from 30 to 60, like,
What?
very quickly within less than a year. So yeah, it's kind of like the more you stay in the game and the more you keep pushing, like uh, wealth base and income, the more those leaps can like happen faster.
And what was his background before this?
Yeah, like he didn't necessarily come from like a super wealthy family. He came from a hardworking family. So I
Okay.
believe his parents owned like a very small like supermarket,
Wow.
and
Okay.
like that is quite a hard business to run
It
because you've
is.
got suppliers. Yeah, like it's just difficult
Yeah.
inventory. So he learnt from like a lot of hard work, I think. And initially, yeah, like he did get a bit of help from his parents, but and he's very open about it. Like, he's spoken about it publicly, but um, that help actually helped him like project forward way quicker. And um, yeah, like for him, he was so like he believed in that particular area that he was investing so much that his parents wanted to help him, and yeah, it paid off. Like, he still paid them interest on the money they lent him,
Wow.
and yeah, like the timing of it was just perfect. So yeah, he did very well.
So he's set to retire at any moment, realistically.
He could do it. He could do it any moment, but I think it's a question of when is it enough more than anything.
Yeah, and I think when you have that thirst, when that's just something within you, when do you stop? Because there's get a bit of a high off it as well, I'm assuming.
Yeah, like it is exciting. Like,
Yeah.
when you know like you're about to buy a property or exchange on something investing wise, and you know and believe in it, yeah, it's exciting. Like, it's like thrill of the chase. So you get really G'd up and excited. It's one of those things where whenever he accumulates more property as well, like we work in the same industry, it actually helps him business wise too, because he'll go to a
Okay.
podcast like this, tell people, hey, I bought 62 properties, and it just helps with his business model as well. So it's kind of like rinse and repeat. It's just helps him business wise, but also net worth wise too. So yeah.
I mean, it makes sense. Like, you wouldn't go to a hairdresser whose hair you didn't think was that fly. You go for things that you're attracted to. And if I want to invest in property, I'm going to go to you. I'm going to go to this 62 property guy and be like, share everything you know, because
Yeah, that's
that's
it.
impressive.
People want to like have the best guides possible. So
Yeah,
yeah, why wouldn't you?
for
Makes
sure.
sense.
And how do you feel when you help people on their journey?
I love it. It's like the best feeling in the world. And although what I do and what I help people with, it's investing, so it's not as emotional as probably buying your first home.
Right.
I still get that level of appreciation because people refer me their friends and family. Like today, I spoke to someone new and I said, "Oh, how did you find us? I can see you left a note." And they said, "Oh, like my younger brother spoke really highly of you, and he's had
Wow.
a lot of brokers, but he says like you're the best, and I trust him." So it's like, oh, like that's awesome. So yeah, getting that appreciation paid back, it's the best feeling in the world. And like when I worked in corporate, I never really got that because I didn't help everyday people. The parts of the banks that I worked in was either quite removed, like high net worth people, they don't care. Oh, maybe they do, but not many of them do.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then, like, I work for large corporates. The CFO does not give a shit. Like, he just, you're just a number to him.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so it was nice. It's nice to actually work with regular people who really appreciate what you do because you play a big part in them building wealth and, doing whatever their goals are. So, yeah, I love it.
Yeah, it's amazing. Like you're helping them chase goals and create, I suppose, generational wealth.
Oh yeah, like I've had people crying on the phone to me because, they've bought at the right time and the property's gone up like, a few $100,000, and, without our help, like they probably wouldn't have got there or whatever. So yeah, it's an awesome feeling.
I guess like the thing for me is you have to have money to make money, right? So to have that
Yeah.
initial deposit. But I think what I'm getting from you is that if you are okay with the fact that you may have to rent and invest that, if you have a smaller pot of money, you need to invest in an area that will have the potential, right? That's the most important thing, to be flexible.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like here in Australia, property prices increase way faster than you'll ever be able to save.
Yeah.
So, like, time in the market is the most important thing. Like, if you look back 40 years, like, prices just continue to go up, probably the
Yeah.
same as other, like, markets around the world. But, yeah, it's just a sacrifice that some people are willing to make. Like, you might have to be frugal for a few years. You might have to live at home. Like some people, like for what it takes to actually do well in property, they have to pay like big lifestyle, um, like choices. They have to make big lifestyle choices where they sacrifice. So they might have to move back with their parents, or they might have to like cut up credit cards, or not go on holidays for a few years, or like whatever it takes. For some people, they're willing to pay that price.
Yeah.
Um, if you're not, that's okay. It might just take a little bit longer to get there, but yeah, it's with property. Yeah, in particular, like the more you can accumulate at a younger age, have it through multiple property cycles. Um, Especially at the beginning, it's always hard to get the first one, but once you've got one under your belt, you can kind of ride the property wave up.
Yeah, I mean, it comes back to what you were saying. It's about the mindset. If you have the mindset that that's what you want to
Yeah,
do, it'll frame everything else. Um,
yeah,
I had the opportunity when I was younger, and my dad had a lot more in the bank. He was like, "Look, I'm at a point in my life where I do have enough money, and the property market was not what it is now, which is insane. He would not have been able to do this for me in this market. But years ago, when I was in my early 20s, he said, "I can give you the money for a deposit to invest. Right? Do you want that?"
wow,
At the
wow,
time, I knew that that would, and obviously that would be a loan, right? It wasn't like I'm going to gift you this money, but he's like, I have the money that I can give that
yeah,
to you and we can work it something out. But obviously, you would have to take charge of the mortgage payments. And at that time, I really wanted to move overseas. I was working in media. I kind of had the idea that Australia was not going to be where my career was going to take off at that time. And I said no. I didn't. I had this urge within myself to just try something else, and I didn't want to be held back by a mortgage that I couldn't escape from. So
yeah.
I didn't
Fair
see
enough.
the bigger picture. Now, do I regret it? Depends where I am in my day and what's happening. But overall, no, I don't regret it, because if I didn't move overseas, I wouldn't have had the experiences that I had, and I would have met my husband, and I wouldn't have the kid that I have now, and life would be different. Now, in my sliding doors moment, where that reality did happen, perhaps I'd see it differently, but I really love my life. So it's interesting because there are moments I'm like, wow, what would that look like if I had one property in my 20s, but I didn't have the mindset? So it doesn't matter because that wasn't my mindset at that time. So yeah, opportunity gone, but I don't regret it.
I
So
wouldn't look at it like that. I mean, you are where you are for a reason, and yeah,
exactly.
like what you know now is probably way more useful for you than maybe it was back then. So I think everything happens for a reason.
I truly do believe that as well. So I've got some quick fire
Mm.
questions for you. Okay,
Oh,
so
okay. Yep.
Morgan, what is the first word you think about when you think about money?
Uh, First word. Oh, okay. Green.
Green. You think about the physical, like the look of
like
money?
like the color of it, like as in like the green. Yeah, that's probably not the right answer, but I just think of green. Like that's the first thing that came to my head.
And do you I mean, money in Australia is not even green, is it? Oh,
I know, it's stupid.
the $100 bill is, isn't it?
The $100 bill is, yeah. Yep.
See, that means that you see a lot of $100 bills. I rarely see $100 bills. Do you have a lot of like green $100 bills and envelopes in your room? Is that what you're saying?
I used to have a $100 bill in my wallet, but then I spent it, and like no one carries cash anymore. So, I mean, like I've got money in my wallet, but I never spend it. It's been there for like 2 years. I've never touched it.
I feel awkward when I have money. I feel like a drug dealer. I also feel like there's a big sign on my head that says I have cash, you know?
Oh.
I feel like someone's going to roll me at that moment because I have cash in my wallet. So I don't even like carrying money. It makes me feel awkward, you know? So I think that says a lot about where I am mentally, but I prefer to tap, tap, tap. But tapping is bad. And I'll tell you why tapping is bad, because you don't think about it. Apple Pay, like bam, 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 bam.
Yeah, I think with like cash as well, like there's something about it feeling in your hands that you kind of feel the worth of it. There's something to do with it where like it's good to actually feel it because you feel the value more instead of just like tapping the whole time.
It's interesting that you say that, because I have a friend and we were discussing like how we're going to talk to our kids about money, and they don't see money as like coins and notes. They don't see it like that. And I think this will have a huge impact on how they see money, because as you were saying, you know, your father gave you 5 cents every time you got a flea off your dog. But this is a really important lesson. So you saw that 5 cents, and you saw that when you got more fleas off, you had more 5 cents, and that had a bigger value. It's not to say that we won't give our kids money, but they see us tap, tap, tap. They don't see us give cash and get something back. There's no exchange. So not feeling that money is quite, it's huge. It's interesting to see how that will play out.
Oh yeah. Like, I mean, like I remember going to like ATMs with my dad to go get money out to like pay the cleaner because he only took cash. And I just, for a while, thought money just came out of a wall. Like you press a few buttons and it comes out of a wall. And it's like, oh, that's awesome.
So from like an emotional standpoint, when you think about money, what's one word that you would use to describe money?
Fun.
Wow.
The reason I said fun is because it gives me the ability to do, like whatever I want with it. And I associate it with being able to do good things, or it could be for myself. It could be for someone else. It could be to like give me, you know, something later in life too. So I always like think of it as something fun or good. Yeah.
That's really nice. And 2 more questions. So if you had all the money in the world, what is something that you would love to buy or do?
Okay, that's an easy answer, actually. I would love to do some form of coaching. So I guess if money was an issue, it kind of comes back to what I do for a day job. Like I really enjoy educating people about property or investing. And in a way, I'm kind of like a property or like, you know, probably more of a property coach than anything. But for me, it'd be something in that kind of realm of coaching because I love passing on what I know about, you know, property or lending. And just to get that like satisfaction back that we kind of talked about earlier, like that is the best feeling in the world. So I don't know if you can buy that or anything, but I guess if everything else was sorted, that's something that I'd love to do. So that's what I would be doing.
That's so nice. That's like a giving. I want to give back.
Yeah, I guess that is it. Yeah. So yeah.
That's really cool. And if you had all the money in the world, what is something that you would still never buy?
The first thing that came to mind is like a first class ticket on like a plane at this point in time, and it could change, but I just believe that what you would spend for a first class ticket versus what you get, it's just not aligned. Like value for money, it's just not the same. Like I'd rather buy a business class ticket because it's way more aligned with what you get. Whereas the incremental increase in price for first class versus what you get, it's just so disproportionate. Whereas like going from economy to business, yeah, it's a big jump, but then you get way more quality versus money. So it's a bit of a snob answer, but yeah, like I don't know if I'd ever do that, to be honest.
I mean, for
I
me,
really
even
feel like
the premium economy life is even, I'm like, damn, I would love a little bit more room, food served on plates rather than those like foil boxes, What about, so you're saying private jet life? That's what you're saying.
I mean, look, I wouldn't say no. Like, who wouldn't? And it's something that I guess once you own the experience, then you'll know if you really like it.
My ridiculous purchase that I would never is like a 2-door sports car. I don't get it. I don't get what a 2-door sports car is about. Like, I can't travel with anyone else except one other person. And what's with the 2 doors? Like,
yeah,
even if there is a back seat, how am I going to access the back seat? I find it so awkward when people have to put the seat down to access the back. Oh, I could not.
Okay, we'll stick with the first class thing then. So. I would love to follow this, and I love this whole thing that you're doing, by the way. Like, I love it. So, yeah. Like, I'd love to know when you launch because I'd love to listen every week. It's
I hope it's good enough.
I really like. No. Like, I reckon some of the people that you would interview, like, this is me thinking I need to find that nugget of gold because, yeah, I reckon some people you'd probably interview, like, have some really interesting things to say, positive and negative. So,
yeah. Morgan, it's been delightful to talk to you. You are the guy to go to in Australia for all things property investing. And I have no doubt that within time, you will be that property coach that you dream of.
Awesome. Yeah. Thanks for having me, CJ. It's been awesome to be on your show. So thank you.
Thank you so much for joining me on this episode of the Fiscally Challenged Pod. Episodes drop weekly, so please hit subscribe on YouTube, Apple, and Spotify so that you don't miss out. I am so excited to share with you all the thought-provoking and enlightening conversations that I've been having. And I'd also love to hear from you. So if you have some feedback or a story to share, please find me on Instagram and TikTok. See you soon.